Hey, brand builder, Rory Vaden here. Thank you so much for tuning in to listen to this interview. We are so excited to bring you this information and wanted to let you know that, hey, there's no sales pitch coming from anything that we do. This is all our value add to you and the community. However, if you are somebody who is looking for specific strategies on how to build and monetize your personal brand, we would love to talk to you. And we offer a free call to everyone that's interested in getting to know us and is willing to give us a chance to get to know them and share a little bit about what we do. So if you're interested in taking us up on a free strategy call, you can do that at brandbuildersgroup.com/summit call. brandbuildersgroup.com/summit call. Hope to talk to you soon. On with the show.
Chris Ducker is easily one of my favorite Brits, and probably
I'm literally the only British person you know, I think.
That is not true. That is not true. I would say that, but it's actually not true. I know quite a bit of British people.
Quite a few Brits, right?
But man, he is amazing. I met him through Jay Bear, we have close personal friends. You all know how much I love Jay Bear. And one of the reasons I love Chris is he's a real entrepreneur. In addition to being a phenomenal personal brand. So he's written 2 books that are awesome, Virtual Freedom and Rise of the Youpreneur. But he owns and operates real companies. In fact, he has 350 full-time employees around the world. He's got businesses in different countries, one of which is called Virtual Staff Finder. For those of you looking for virtual assistants, we'll talk more about that later. But he's also a blogger. He's a podcaster. He's got a great following. He's built a huge personal brand himself. He's a speaker. He hosts an annual summit called the Youpreneur Summit, which usually I think is in Cambridge or in England, and
London,
is in London. Okay, yeah. So he does an event every year, and we have a lot of overlap in terms of friends and audience and philosophy. And anyways, I just love this guy, and you need to know about him and what he does in his businesses, and specifically his online business, which is the smallest part of how he makes his income because he's got real companies doing real stuff. But he has a really big academy called Youpreneur. It's a membership academy, and I wanted to talk about how he built that and what does it take to really month in and month out manage a membership site, because there's good things and there's bad things. And so anyways, Chris Ducker, my favorite Brit, glad you're here.
I'm glad to hear. I just want you to keep talking about me. This is great. I could listen to you for hours.
Well, AJ always tells me, she's like, your introductions are too long, and I listen to everything, most everything AJ tells me, but I think it's important because I want you to know how much I love you, and I want you listening to know every person that I bring on is here for a specific reason. Of it's someone that I learned from, and you do so many of those things. But Youpreneur.com, which is really the academy, the membership site, I feel like, Chris, so many people get excited about a membership site, they start it, they run it for 15 months, and then they're like, this sucks and I'm out. and you've done it. So how long have you done it?
We have just hit our 5th year at the Youpreneur Academy, which is fantastic. Throughout the course of that time, gosh, I don't know exactly how many people have swung through those doors. If I had to put a number on it,
yes,
I'd say probably around about 3,500 people have joined over that period of time. We float anywhere between, based on promotions and kind of mini launches to our lists and things like that. We'll float anywhere between kind of like 650 to 950 members at any one time. So it's a good sticking rate as well. I think the majority of people stick around for about a year and a half or so. But here's the big thing. I think the one reason why memberships come and go so quickly is because, man, it's work. That's the thing. People think that it's like passive income or something equally as sexy, and it's definitely not passive. It's probably about the most, other than say like coaching one-on-one,
which is what we do. We do one. We do the guys, one-on-one. Like it's that.
You guys, you guys would not be good poster childs for the idea of passive income, but that's your model, you see, and that's what everybody loves about you. And so, look, here's the deal: if you want that recurring, reliable income on a regular monthly basis, you need to show the heck up every single month as well. And we do that. We do that through, everything from, video training that goes live every month, right the way through to a massive archive of stuff. The funny thing is, actually, we don't produce that much new content on a monthly basis anymore.
Interesting.
We've been going 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
You can talk about building relationships and providing solutions to people's problems and packaging your experience, and which is what we do and what we've done. But what we have been doing really successfully over the last year and a half or so is going in and revamping stuff and kind of touching stuff up to bring it kind of more up to date and things like that. But there's still a lot of stuff. I mean, without a doubt, the most fun that I have with the Academy is our monthly Chit Chats, which is where I get to sit down 99% of the time in person, because as you well know, I travel a lot. And we actually usually, when we're at a conference or something, I'll hire a suite and we'll bring a crew in for an entire day and we'll film like 6 videos in one day. And then that's our content for 6 months, you see. And, we actually, even though I haven't recorded anything since March this year, which is the last time you and I saw each other in San Diego,
right.
We've still got content good until like February next year. So, we've
you
really
record 6 hours. So you batch.
Oh yeah.
Are those like 6 hour long videos, or
they run for about 30 to 40 minutes on average? I mean, how long are you going to actually honestly sit and watch 2 people talk to each other with 2 different camera angles? Like people's span of attention are pretty poor nowadays as it is, right? But we do great. We've had some incredible people that we've sat down with over the years, and that content,
and some strikingly mediocre people like Jay Bear and
Jay Bear has done
Michael
one.
Stelzner, Pat Flynn. I know that you have a large number of very average.
Average people. Average people. Gary Vaynerchuk dropped in one time. Just wore the pants off Gary Vaynerchuk. I think what it is that that's me. I'm more of a talker than a typer. So, I like to podcast. I like to do video work. I like to speak on stage, and I like to coach and train people. And so everything else that revolves around the Academy, and then also the incubator, which is kind of our higher level membership, which is more kind of one-to-group coaching. So if you imagine...
Are you comfortable sharing the prices with just like so we
totally. Yeah. So
to kind of give us a sense of like how many people and how difficult
absolutely.
it is.
So the Academy is $39 US a month. That's it. Okay. That's simple.
And I know I'm American, but we do have international people who listen. But I appreciate the U.S. translation. But we travel a lot. We are quite international.
Well, here's the thing. Actually, it's funny you mention that genuinely, because we have a massively big worldwide audience as well. We're very blessed like that, and so the question actually did come about. What are we going to do? How are we going to charge? Are we going to do it in GBP? Are we going to do it in Euro? Are we going to do it in the USD? Those are really the only 3 currencies we talked about when we launched, online. And Euro was kind of ditched pretty much straight away because people in Europe are used to paying in USD for stuff online. The British pounds things was a conversation that we went on probably for too long, purely just because of the fact that I'm British, and since 2 years ago, we've now been based here back in England, whereas obviously, as you well know, we were over in the Philippines for 18 years prior to that.
Just for everyone to catch that, like you built these businesses living and operating and doing business in the Philippines.
Yes.
You moved for 18 years from England to the Philippines. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're definitely my favorite Filipino. Like, I don't know. I don't think I know very many. And that's amazing.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure
you were charging US dollars when you were in the Philippines selling a very international membership site.
Totally. And I mean, you know, our businesses, you know, the larger of the businesses is fundamentally a B2B call center facility. So we bill in USD and we pay all our bills in Philippine peso, and it's very, very profitable. And so with the Academy, the USD, it was just, the other conversation, a lot of people have this who maybe are not US based, they'll have this issue of, if I'm going to write in English, obviously if I'm in Germany and I'm talking to a German audience, I'm writing in German. But if I'm international outside of the United States and I'm writing content in English, do I go with a US spelling or do I go with British spelling? And that was another discussion that we actually had to have. But, you know, we do everything in American English. We do everything in USD billing, mainly because of the fact that internationally, pound for pound, the US way of writing and charging for products and services online specifically is more universally accepted. So for all of your podcast listeners / viewers that are listening to this, there you go. I've just solved the problem for you. You don't have
that is, and it
any
also makes,
attention to it.
It makes me not feel quite as such a self-centered American, even though that you know. So that's interesting. That's actually really helpful to have your perspective. Of that's a conscious decision that you've made. Is just kind of the most transferable or universal. You know,
the thing is, you know, ever since I kind of got in, you know, left school, and I didn't go to university or college, as you guys would call it. And so I went straight into the workforce, straight into sales and marketing for a publishing company. I only ever had 2 jobs in my life prior to setting up my own firm. And I've always dealt with people on an international setting. So pretty much from week 1, I was talking to people all over Europe, for example, based in the UK. When I went over to the Philippines, you know, set up the firm, et cetera, I was instantly knew that America was our big melting pot of prospective customers. So, you know, it's just one of those things. I've always done business on an international setting.
Fascinating.
Everything from time zones to international dialing codes, they're all up here, baby. I don't need to look any of them up. So,
I mean, you got time zones, you got dialing codes, you have currency, you have taxes. You have the writing, like like you're saying, the American English. Those are a lot of things. So $39 a month also gives you a very globally affordable, you know, because you're factoring in certain countries that it's like $99 a month. Like our lowest price point is $99 a month, but you're able to probably capture a large percentage of the world that maybe the $99 a month isn't.
Well, the thing is, look, this is the way I look at it, right? Whether you're just getting started online and you want to learn how to build an audience properly and to, you know, become, I always say, you know, that you've got to try and become somebody's favorite, right? So whether you're looking to become somebody's favorite podcaster or blogger or YouTuber or live streamer or whatever it might be, when you get started, it's good to have something other than just nonstop Googling that you can go to, that you can converse with other people that are in a similar situation, and kind of learn from and brainstorm and, you know, that kind of stuff, right? But then the flip side of that kind of beginner coin is that there are people inside of the Academy who have been in business for 10 plus years who are already running very successful, profitable businesses, but have never considered personal branding, or as I call it, building the business of you ever before. It's something they've never done. And so, yeah, I'm profitable. I make money. But I've got no idea how to, build my website out properly to position myself as an expert. I've got no idea how to utilize my uniqueness as a person and my personality and my experiences to be able to bring in additional business, et cetera, right? So this is, the Academy really kind of just like, it ticks all those boxes at a low price so that anybody can really afford it. Some might say, well, why don't you just give it away for free? The reason being is because I don't give anything away for free. It's really that simple. My time is a premium, and if it requires my time, even just a couple hours a month, if you want it, you're going to have to pay for it. It's really that simple. And so that's why, that's one of the reasons why we got around to launching 2 years ago, the incubator, which is like kind of like the next tier, which ends up, it's like $2,500 for the year. And
US dollars for
US
for
dollars.
the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that is, more time with me each month as a group, one to many, no one-on-one coaching, one to many. And it's a smaller group of people. It ends up being around about 100 people or so at any one time. Some people come, some people go. And it's great because, those who do stick around for that entire year plus, they see incredible growth. It doesn't take much.
And even though you said you've been kind of hovering steadily between 600 to 900 members, $40 a month, that's still, whatever, 20, 25, maybe $30,000 a month. And you've got expenses, you got some staff and stuff, but that's a nice, healthy stream of consistent revenue that helps like pay the bills. And then the incubator becomes a little more profitable and a little more time. And then, most of your time, your personal time, you're actually putting into these other businesses. And so how do you fill it? How do you fill the membership? Okay. So I really love that it's work, like hearing and that truth is important. How do you go about filling it? Like, do you do the big push twice a year, like open cart, close cart? Is it always open? Do people come and go? Do you have affiliates? Do you run ads? Is it social? Is it Google, YouTube? Like, how do you actually sell the thing, right? Like, how do you get people to pay money for this?
So we don't do any affiliates. We don't do any Google ads. We do a little bit of Facebook advertising. I guess we probably drop a couple of grand a month US on Facebook ads for it. It's a low price point. So you're going to look at like cost per acquisition for each new customer.
Yes,
right?
Someone's got to stay a long time.
Incubator a little bit more. That's a little easier to kind of warrant pushing more ad spend behind because it's that 2,500 price point, right? Or if I have to drop $100, $150 to acquire a customer all day long, I'll do that all day long, right? But with the Academy, a little bit different. I'll tell you what we do. We produce content at youpreneur.com, both from a blogging perspective, so written content, along with graphical content, so infographics, Instagram stories. We've got something that we do on my Instagram account called Carousel Wisdom, where people have to flick through and it sits on the grid. People love those. We do the podcast on a weekly basis. And there's just one very simple formula that we follow to every single piece of content that we create. And this is what we teach our clients as well when we're coaching them. And it's just as simple as this. Always answer a question. That's it. If you can create a piece of content that always answers a question, or for want of a better term, provides a solution to somebody's pain point, regardless of what that might be, if you can do that with every piece of content that you create, it'll have a long form effect on prospective customers not only finding you, but then having those actually convert into paying customers for you. And by the way, that's not a $39 like product strategy. That's just a strategy for selling online consistently, period. Show up every single week, over and over and over again, with whatever piece of content that you feel most comfortable producing, but just make sure that you're always answering a question or solving a problem. If you do that, people will find you.
So you're constantly building trust. You're blogging, you're podcasting, you're putting out that content, and then what's the conversion mechanism? Is it just you literally send them an email and say, click and go to this, like, here's what it is, click, go to this, there's a sales page, this is what's included, it's $39 a month, and sign up?
Sure. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Simple.
You've just, that's it. I don't like to complicate things at all. And so, it really just comes down to, obviously, I mean, we've rewritten our landing pages and our sales pages. We've tested things out. We know what terminology to use on our ads, but we never actually will we ever spend money on cold audiences. All of the ads that we run are run to warm audiences, meaning they've either visited our website, they're either on our email list, or they're engaging with us directly on Facebook.
So they're all pixeled. They're either pixeled audiences or they're an email list custom audience that you upload.
But for us, I mean, without a doubt, email is king. I mean, that's, you visit youpreneur.com, you'll have multiple opportunities to get onto our email list. We have a great opt-in that we provide called the Personal Brand Roadmap. And it's just a simple 10-step kind of checklist, 10 things to kind of pay attention to when you're building a personal brand. We get an average of around about 100 organic opt-ins every single day. And
wow.
Just
every day?
Every day. Yeah, every day. If we run ads, we'll double, triple that, right? So this is because the website has been around long enough with 400, 500, 600 pieces of content on it that Google is indexing us for all of our search terms. Again,
this is why the blogging is so important, because it's like social media over time gets less valuable, but blogging content over time gets more valuable. The website gets more authoritative.
Exactly. And I always say, like, social media is great. You should absolutely utilize those platforms. You should absolutely make sure that you're focusing in on maybe one or two of them that you really like yourself. But here's the brutal reality of it. You don't own those platforms. Google owns YouTube. Mark Zuckerberg and his friends own Facebook. You own chrisducker.com or roryvaden.com. You can control those. So you always have to utilize those other platforms to get people back to your hub. And then your number one goal as someone building a business online is to get them on your email list. And we went through 5 or 6 different opt-in magnets before we settled on the Personal Brand Roadmap, which has been updated 2 or 3 times over the last 3-4 years. So it's fully up to date. Links work. Resources are good, all that good stuff in it. But the fact of the matter is that once people are in that funnel, we can not only serve up more content that will, obviously help them, but we can then obviously, let them know as and when we might be running promotions or, why this is a good fit for them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I stay away from launches. It's not my style. It's too stressful. But I do like running promotions 2-3 times a year where we'll very rarely discount anything we do, but we'll add on certain bonuses to it. I stand behind our pricing because I feel like what we do is truly worth it. But I don't mind giving somebody free access to, 5 videos for a month to learn how to XYZ, whatever it might be,
Well, I love it. You can see this, as we've mentioned several times, youpreneur.com. So this is, our audience is the perfect audience for this. So you guys go watch what he's doing, check out what he's doing, get on his email list. And I mean, hey,
copy everything, copy all the strategies, swipe them and take them for yourself and get to work.
$39 a month. I mean, it's like, $39 a month. I mean, that's like what you spend that on like sliced deli at the grocery.
Absolutely.
So, is there anywhere else you would drive people to, Chris Ducker? Or where do you want people to go?
Well, I wouldn't be much of a personal brand entrepreneur myself if I didn't have chrisducker.com. So that's what it's all about, really. chrisducker.com, at Chris Ducker, Instagram. They're the two spots.
And we're going to talk more about Virtual Staff Finder because we have a bunch of people who need help running our system that we teach them that we call the Content Diamond for managing social. And I need to talk to you about Virtual Staff Finder because we need to see if we can hook up a deal for our audience on that. So maybe
I would love to do that. Everybody should have a virtual assistant if they're building a personal brand. And
or 10.
We've helped, or 10. we've helped just over 10,000 people in the 10 years we've been in business. Actually, find their VOs. So we know a thing or two about it. Let's do that.
Maybe we'll have you come back and talk about that. But anyways, chrisducker.com. Check him out. He's awesome, cool guy. We love him. Appreciate your transparency, buddy, and showing us just like how straightforward and simple. It's work, baby. It's work.
Got to do the work. You got to do the work. The unsexy work. That's what you got to do. You got to do the unsexy work.
I like it. Wish you the best, my friend.
Thank you, brother.